Welcome to Embrace Your Inner Boldness, the podcast dedicated to empowering you to live confidently, embracing all parts of who you truly are. I'm Melissa Henning-Frank, and I'm the founder, success coach, and consultant of Becoming Bold, LLC, and you can count on me to be your guide on this incredible journey of self-discovery and transformation. Let's get right to it. Hello. Today we're going deep into the powerhouse topic of resilience. This episode is all about embracing the strength of your mindset, the magic and neuroscience of positive thinking, and the power of your beliefs to build unshakable resilience. The intention of this episode is to help you transform your perspective and finally harness your inner strength like never before. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back from or ignoring or pushing down negative experiences. It's about thriving and learning despite them. It's about the mindset we cultivate, the beliefs we hold, and the intentions we set. It's not realistic to think that nothing will ever pop up in your life to upset your apple cart, as they say. There's likely going to be things that interrupt us and get in the way of how we think things are supposed to be or should be. Personally, I'm finally getting to record this podcast, which is actually a week late, because I was caring for my special needs sister who was in the hospital for 10 days, battling COVID, while my mom was also sick and not able to be there with her. So I feel like this episode is or will be as much for me as it is for you, because it's been a doozy of a 10-day period. We naturally prefer an easy life. We prefer a life that's free from drama, free from pain, distractions, and a life where everything just goes smoothly. Believe it or not, you can still live a smooth life, even through the hard times. The key is to build yourself up during the times where everything is going smoothly so that you're appreciating more of those smooth times. And then when the tough times come, like they will, you have solid coping strategies to help carry you through those difficult times. I can't recall who said it, but there's a quote that goes something like, "Pain is inevitable, suffering is a choice." When we build coping strategies, it's really choosing to take our power back or not letting our power leak out in the first place. An analogy I like to use when it comes to coping strategies and resilience is to compare it to physical fitness. Think about how good you feel after a workout. Your stress levels decrease, your physical body feels stronger, your brain and body reaps the benefits of clarity and energy because the fresh oxygen and endorphins pumping through it. So building resistance is like working out, because the action you're taking now, while there are immediate benefits, is actually proactively preparing for a stronger you months down the road when that strength will come in handy. For example, a physically strong and fit body going into something like major surgery is going to recover much quicker and easier than a body that's physically unfit. So the same goes for your resilience. A resilient mind going into a difficult situation is going to cope more powerfully and recover much quicker and easier than a mind that's mentally lacking resilience. I'm not intending to downplay difficult times at all. I've experienced lots of them. So tune back in if you're losing interest and starting to think this episode is coming from someone who's had it easy, because I'm not that someone. I'm intending to share with you ways that I personally have gotten through many difficult times, including a super tough upbringing, abuse, poverty, eating disorders, a 3-year active duty tour in the Army, 2 relocations in 2 years, death of a parent, finding out that parent wasn't biologically related to me, toxic work environments here and there, insecurity, lack of confidence, divorce, serious health issues, temporary disability, and there's actually so many more details that I will eventually share when the time is right. Without resilience, there's no way I'd be where I am today, and I believe it's important for me to help others who may have also experienced difficulties. And truly, do you know anyone who hasn't? It's also important to note that resilience, much like physical fitness, requires regular maintenance in order to keep the same level or increase strength over time. You don't stay as strong once you stop maintaining your strength. So let's start with understanding 3 core elements that make up a resilient mindset: Each will include an idea for your next right step that will help you start walking towards resiliency. Don't feel as if you have to have it all figured out right away. This is something like a marathon. It's definitely not a sprint. So number 1, belief in self-ability. The first step to resilience is believing in your own ability to overcome challenges. I guarantee you others believe in you, but until you believe in you, your resilience won't be consistent. Believing in yourself means acknowledging your strengths and trusting that you can navigate whatever life throws your way. If you believe you don't have the ability to overcome challenges, then you will have a lot of difficulty overcoming challenges. What you believe about yourself and your abilities really matters. Here's the next right tactical step. Start a daily affirmation practice. Every morning, look in the mirror and affirm, I am capable, I am strong, and I am resilient. You can even give yourself a high five in the mirror if you feel up to it. Number 2, it's important to embrace a mindset that is truly about growing. The belief that your abilities and your intelligence can be developed with effort, learning, and persistence. This mindset helps turn obstacles into opportunities for growth. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, says you've basically maxed out on the level of potential and ability you have, so why bother working on yourself? A growth mindset says that you believe you've got abilities and potential and can overcome anything if you have the courage to try. So here's the right next tactical step. Reflect on a recent challenge and identify at least one lesson you learned from it. Write it down and revisit it whenever you need a reminder of your growth. Number 3, positive self-talk. Definitely something that I've talked about multiple times on this podcast because the stories we tell ourselves shape our reality. So replace negative self-talk with positive, empowering statements. Speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you'd offer a friend. I feel like there's not a single episode I've recorded that doesn't touch on this, at least in some way. What you think is how you will feel, and how you feel is how you will be. And this is all in your control. So here's the next right tactical step. Catch yourself in moments of negative self-talk and consciously reframe those thoughts. For example, change, I can't handle this, to I have handled challenges before and I will handle this too. Train yourself to consistently notice when you're thinking or talking negatively and counteract that with a positive thought or phrase. You will reprogram your neural pathways in your brain to default to the positive versus the negative if you keep doing this, and that is going to build your resilience and help you be stronger in the long run. Next, let's talk about beliefs that actually build resilience. So our beliefs, the things that we believe, the things that we've been conditioned to believe, the things that we've grown to believe, the things that we tell ourselves multiple times over and over again, those are the catalyst for our resilience. They shape how we perceive challenges, and they shape how we determine our ability to overcome those challenges. So let's explore some empowering beliefs to cultivate a belief in possibility, a belief in your inner strength, and a belief in support systems. So first, believe that it's possible to turn challenges into opportunities. This belief opens you up to creative solutions and new perspectives. What if we're purposely here and we're experiencing Earth School, where every experience is a valuable lesson for our growth and our evolution as humanity? What if? What if is actually one of my very favorite questions. It sparks amplifying curiosity within my bones, I tell you. Here's the next right tactical step. When faced with a challenge, when faced with a tough time, when faced with something that's going in a way that you wish it wasn't, ask yourself, what opportunity or learning does this situation present? And write down your insights. Next, believe in your inner strength. Trust in your inner strength and resilience. It's in there. You've got it. Know that you have the power within you to overcome any adversity. When you experience adversity, it's likely you've given away some of your personal power, especially in experiences that triggered your survival instinct. We learn to shift and change ourselves in those triggering experiences. And sometimes that means shrinking ourselves and becoming someone who is simply trying to get through it. This is something I've been working on for decades, truly trusting myself and my abilities and taking back my personal power. I've made great strides in this area and it still pops up on occasion. But with doing the work, I've developed the mindset and coping skills to squash it before it becomes an actual issue, at least most of the time. Still a work in progress. Mel Robbins has a powerful philosophy that aligns well with the topic of resilience. And it definitely helps with building your inner strength. It's called the let them theory. She says that when people say or do things that may be upsetting to us, it's important to understand that we have no control over what someone else thinks. So when we get triggered or irritated, instead of feeling like we have to defend ourselves or fight back or feel like we're less than because of what others may think, we simply say, let them. So it's about choosing to free yourself from others' behavior and not letting the world affect you. It's about taking responsibility for your own actions and not trying to control or be controlled by someone else's. She talks about this on her podcast, and she also has a book, so be sure to check both of those out. Here's the next right tactical step. Create a mantra accompanied by visualization that reinforces your inner strength, such as, I am unbreakable, or everything is always working out for me, or I call my power back to me now, or let them, and repeat it during moments of doubt. Visualize an incredibly resilient you, whatever that looks like to you. The more you visualize this incredibly resilient you, the more you'll start becoming that person. Visualization and mantras are so very powerful and magnetic for stepping into and taking back your power. Next, believe in the power of community and support systems. Resilience doesn't mean going it alone. It means leaning on others when you need to. So finally talk about the things you don't talk about. Find some other people who have experienced similar things and learn from each other. Help each other pull up and out from the dark spaces that occupy your mind when you're alone, because you're not alone. It is well past the time for people to start talking about the things that they push down, the things that they're ashamed about, because if we don't talk about it, it doesn't get healed and solved, and our resilience really takes a negative hit. So here's the next right tactical step. Identify your support network. Reach out to them regularly. Stop being afraid or unwilling to ask for help. We were never meant to walk alone in our struggles. Whether it's friends, family, a coach, or mentor, stay connected and seek support when it's needed. Something that I started doing that really helped me out a lot when I started feeling kind of alone in my own difficulties was finding some good podcasts that felt like hanging out with a friend or hanging out with a mentor or coach who had really good advice for me. Podcasts are such a good resource for self-development, and it also has an added benefit of feeling like you are connecting with others. I really enjoy listening to podcasts for learning new things, for building resilience, and for feeling connected to others. It feels kind of strange talking about it because I'm listening to someone who did a recording and they're telling me things, but it actually feels like you are connecting with that person. And I'm hopeful that this podcast does that for you in a way also. With all the self-help books out there, all the self-improvement podcasts like this one, all the commercials for medications to help us feel better, it's so clear that people are seeking healing, and the mental health challenges in our country need immediate attention because we are really behind the eight ball on this topic. It's imperative and it's crucial that we start talking about the things we don't talk about so we can stop playing small and embrace our inner boldness. So, what are some things that you don't talk about? Is not talking about it helping or harming you and those around you? Your energy absolutely impacts your relationships, even if your blind spots tell you the opposite. So I hope you decide to stop looking at difficult times as your lot in life, in quotes, to stop playing the role of the victim, and to take control of your life once and for all. Resilience is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a consistent work in progress. By cultivating a powerful mindset, harnessing the magic and neuroscience of positive thought generation, and embracing empowering beliefs, you can build unshakable resilience, and you can face any challenge with grace and strength. Remember, you have the power within you to overcome and thrive, and you have the ability to take control of your life if that's what you believe you can do. So your action item this week is to write down the things you don't talk about. Just write as much as you feel ready to. Then either share it with someone you trust, or if you want to keep it to yourself, that's perfectly fine. Rip it up, burn it, whatever you can safely do to release the energy of it so you can reclaim your power. Better yet, share this podcast with that person you know would benefit from hearing these words. And maybe you 2 or 3 can do this writing exercise together. Until next time, stay bold, stay resilient, keep shining, and be kind to your mind. You've got this. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Embrace Your Inner Boldness. I hope you found inspiration and actionable tips to help you live more confidently. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on the latest insights and empowering stories. Please take a moment to also leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and be able to continue bringing you more content that uplifts and motivates. Empowering yourself and/or your team starts with embracing your inner boldness. When we stop playing small, we open the door to limitless potential. Remember, the only limit to your greatness is the one you set for yourself. Stay bold, stay fearless, and let's make this journey unforgettable.